Welcome, traveller. This is the Wolf's Vale on the Fae Taure Audio Network.
The world had blurred into hunger, exhaustion, and the constant sound of pursuit. For more than a day, Ansley had slipped through the thick woods of shifter territory, her body nothing but fox fur and bone and trembling muscle. She had curled beneath the roots of a twisted tree for rest, but every sound sent her jolting awake. Every scent in the air turned her blood cold. The shadows whispered danger. Every rustle was a threat. Her wounds, deep gouges along her side, wept and burned. They healed sluggishly, her body too starved to mend. Her limbs felt hollow, her stomach ached with emptiness, and still she pushed forward, because stopping meant death. Her spirit's voice was a rasp in her skull.
"You're too stubborn to die quietly, I'll give you that. But keep going like this, and the earth will claim you whether you like it or not."
Ansley lifted her head, muzzle wet with dirt. She had eaten what she could, half-ripe berries plucked in desperation, scraps scavenged from the forest floor, a rabbit carcass left behind by another predator. It wasn't enough. Her ribs jutted sharply under her fur. She pressed on, her fox form slipping through the brambles, paws sinking into mud along the stream bed. Her ears twitched at every sound, muscles coiled tight though exhaustion dragged them down. She drank from a shallow puddle, the water tinged with soil, and gagged it down because she had no choice. The forest was alive with shifter scent. They were never far. She had no more than heartbeats to breathe before they found her trail again. They came at dusk. A cluster of shifters fanned out, their snarls cutting the silence. Ansley's heart slammed against her ribs, the sound almost louder than their approach. She bolted, weaving through the thickets, but their footsteps closed in. One lunged, claws slicing at her haunch. She yelped and twisted away, blood soaking her fur, the sharp sting stealing her breath.
"Not like this,"
her spirit snapped.
"Run, girl, shift and run."
Her body obeyed. The fox broke into the larger, stronger shape of a wolf mid-stride, claws tearing at the ground, lungs burning as she drove herself faster. Her body stretched and lengthened, bones snapping back into place with practiced ease, and still her muscles screamed with exhaustion. The air filled with the reek of her pursuers. Their voices snapped at her, snarls and jeers promising capture. Ansley darted left, leapt a ravine, landed awkwardly but kept running. The shifters pressed on, tireless, eager, their laughter chasing her as cruelly as their claws. Her side throbbed, blood dripping steadily into her fur. Her paws felt heavier with each step, like stones tied to her legs. Every breath was fire in her lungs, her throat raw from panting. The trees broke around her into a ridge, and she stumbled over the crest, plunging into a new stretch of forest. The scents shifted here, different and strange, thicker with a wild note she didn't recognize. Pine mixed with salt, and something old threaded through the air. But the shifters didn't falter. They poured after her, teeth flashing, closing the gap. Her spirit murmured, uneasy now.
"The air doesn't belong to them anymore. We're in new territory."
Before Ansley could process the words, the night split with answering howls. They weren't shifters. The voices carried strength, authority, a fierce, commanding unity that froze the pack of pursuers in their charge. Wolves with sharp discipline, wolves with purpose. Shapes crashed through the brush ahead, and wolves unlike any she had seen before stormed into the fray. Their scent was heavy with dominance and something older, steadier. Different from her old pack, different from the shifters. Distinct and powerful. Flashes of red fur blazed in the moonlight. Ansley's spirit hissed sharp in her chest.
"O'Shea's, it's the O'Shea's lands."
The fight exploded around her. Wolves slammed into shifters, teeth tearing, claws raking, the ground trembling beneath the chaos. Ansley staggered to the side, her ribs aflame, eyes darting wildly across the blur of battle. The air was filled with roars, snapping jaws, the metallic scent of blood. Shadows collided in violent arcs, the sound of bone meeting bone echoing through the trees. And then she saw her. At the front, leading the charge, was a wolf with fur as brilliantly red as flame, every strand catching the moonlight like fire. Her movements were fluid and lethal, her dominance cutting through the field like the stroke of a blade. She was precise, merciless, unyielding. Ansley froze, breath caught in her chest. Even through her haze of pain and exhaustion, she couldn't look away. Her spirit breathed the truth, quiet as reverence.
The heir of O'Shea.
There was no mistaking her, Quinn O'Shea, heir to the O'Shea pack. The heir of the Red Wolves. Her coat blazed brighter than any foxfire, her presence larger than life. The shifters reeled beneath Quinn's assault. Her unit fought with precision, each wolf moving as if guided by one mind, driving their enemies back step by step. Ansley watched in awe through blurred vision as the tide shifted. The shifters began to falter, their confidence shaken by the sudden ferocity of the defense. One by one they broke formation, growls turning to sharp whines of retreat. Within moments they were scattering into the shadows, unwilling to risk life over a fleeing shifter. The echoes of their retreat were swallowed quickly by the night. Ansley stumbled forward, legs shaking, vision tunneling. She tried to take another step, but her paws gave way, and she crashed to the ground. Her breaths came shallow, each one a struggle. The world spun and tilted. The voices of wolves around her grew distant, muffled, as if she was slipping underwater. She lifted her head one last time, just enough to see the red wolf turning toward her. Golden eyes blazed in the darkness, locking onto her with sharp intensity. The look pierced through the haze of her mind, steady and undeniable. For a moment time seemed to hold, the rest of the battle falling away until there was only those eyes, that fire-red coat. Her spirit whispered softer now.
We are safe.
Then the strength left her. Ansley collapsed into the dirt, darkness sweeping in. Her last thought before it claimed her was of red fur blazing in the moonlight and eyes that would not let her go.
Our tale comes to a pause here. This has been The Wolf's Veil on the Fate Array Audio Network. Until next time, go gently, traveller.